Retired underworld legend Mason Cass just got home, only to find a woman in ragged clothes inside his house. Then a little girl came charging at him, swinging a broom, yelling he was a bad guy who couldn't take their house. The woman rushed over and apologized to Mason, explaining a shady agent had scammed her out of all her money, and now she had nowhere left to live. So she was crashing here for now. Mason didn't feel like wasting words on her. He just flat out ordered her to get out of his house right now. With no choice, the woman had to leave. But later, Mason noticed something. The mother and daughter had set up a bed right out in the hallway. He stepped up, took one look, and seemed to hesitate. But in the end, he just walked away. But right then, the woman's ex-husband showed up, and without a word, he snapped her bag. The woman snapped out of it and lunged, grabbing it tight, begging him to give it back, saying it was for their daughter's treatment. But the scumbag said he was drowning and dead out there, and this jinx of a woman actually dared to hide money from him. Just like that, the gambling ex ripped away the money meant to save their daughter, and Mason watched the whole thing go down. He didn't step in to stop it, but what happened to the mother and daughter still got to him. So he told the woman to move in until she found a new place, and just like that, she and her daughter moved into Mason's place. The next morning, Mason woke up to find only the little girl at home. He asked around, and learned the mom was scraping together the girl's medical bills. So she left for work before sunrise, seeing the poor little girl with nothing but a plain bun to chew on. Mason decided right there to take her out for a real meal. So he brought the little girl to a fancy restaurant. But the second the girl sat down, the catty woman at the next table complained to the waiter, saying this was a high-end restaurant, and how could some little beggar just waltz in, telling the waiter to throw her out. Sweet little girl saw this and said she didn't want to eat anymore, and told Mason to just take her and go. But Mason calmly pulled out his phone and made a call, which only cracked the catty woman up. She figured Mason must be delusional, thinking he was some all-powerful big shot. The other catty woman at her table, she heard that Mason had escaped from some mental hospital. The words had barely left her mouth when the restaurant owner rushed over with the whole crew, and without a word had his men toss the catty woman straight out. The little girl was completely stunned watching this, so she started calling Mason her Superman uncle. He scared off the bad guys and could do anything, and even made all this yummy food appear, so she was sure Mason had to be a superhero. Hearing the little girl say that, Mason cracked a rare little smile. Then he sweetly peeled some shrimp and slid it over for her to eat while it was hot. But then the little girl pulled a plastic bag out of her pocket, saying she wanted to save it and bring it to her mom. Since her mom only ever ate buns and never had food this good, Mason froze for a second, then nodded. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, the girl's mom, working at a fruit shop, ran into a gang of thugs collecting protection money. The woman said she'd already paid, but the thugs said that was for the past few days, and she still owed them for now. The woman told them she was completely broke, and begged the thugs to leave her alone, seeing she couldn't come up with the cash. The thug said she could pay them back another way, and reached out to grope her. The woman shoved him off right away, but getting rejected made the thug fly into a rage. So he decided to teach the woman a lesson, and right at that critical moment, Mason showed up and instantly kicked the thug flying. The thug hit the ground furious and ordered his men to jump Mason, but Mason dropped the whole gang in just a few moves. Seeing this, the thug stumbled back in fear as Mason stepped toward him. One step at a time, the thug blurted out that he worked for Sangbia, claiming if Mason dared to touch him, Sangbia would never let him off. Then he whipped out his phone to call Sangbia for help. But little did he know Sangbia was right then, begging Mason's assistant for a favor, asking the assistant to introduce him whenever it was convenient, saying he wanted to meet the L King too. The assistant said the Owl King didn't like socializing, then added it depended on how Sangbiao proved himself. Just then, Sangbiao got the call from his thug. The second he heard someone dared stir up trouble on his turf, he said he was coming over to put them in their place. After getting Sangbiao's word, the little thug talked big to Mason, saying he was a dead man. A woman rushed over and told Mason to get out of there fast, warning that Sangbia was a local kingpin nobody could mess with. But the thug said it was too late to run now, and that he'd chop off Mason's hand and feed it to the dogs.